Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to another interesting session of the Astro Club. So today we are back with another interesting topic to discuss. So we have often heard in the news, or we may have read in the newspaper, that some scientists and astronauts are doing some experiments in the International Space Station, or they are staying in the International Space Station, right? So, but do we know exactly what an International Space Station is? So in today's session, we're going to learn more about the ISS, which is the International Space Station. So we're going to learn more about this topic. So the International Space Station, ISS called in short, it is the biggest human-made thing in space. And it is the third brightest object in the sky. So humans have made many things related to space, like it may be aircrafts or it may be satellites or anything. But the International Space Station, it is the biggest human-made thing in the space. And it is also the third brightest object in the sky. So what basically is an ISS? The ISS is a large spacecraft. It is a large spacecraft and it orbits around Earth at an average speed of 27,700 kilometers per hour. So it orbits Earth at a speed of 27,700 kilometers per hour. Imagine in 1 hour, it is traveling 27,700 kilometers, which is a very high speed. So it also orbits Earth 16 times per day. So in 1 day, it orbits Earth 16 times. And also at night, it can easily be seen from the Earth. So we can easily spot the International Space Station in the sky at night because it flies just 320 kilometers above us. So that is the reason why we can see the ISS even at the night. So it is also a home where the astronauts live. The International Space Station is a home where astronauts live.
Akka, and from there only they will control all the missions.
No, wait, I'll get to the point. Wait. So if you see here in this picture, it is looking like one single object, right? It is looking like a one single object. But the International Space Station is not a single object. It is made up of many pieces. It is not a single object. It is made up of many pieces. So, and also the International Space Station weighs almost 400 tons. So the weight of that International Space Station is 400 tons. So, which is equal to the weight of 280 cars. Imagine the weight of 280 cars. Exactly, the ISS weighs the same, 400 tons. And do you know how much area it covers? It covers an area of approximately an entire football pitch. Do you know how large is a football pitch? So the ISS also covers the same amount of area as a football pitch. So do you think it would be possible, or it is very easy to build the entire ISS on the Earth and then launch it into space? Do you think it is easy?
No, Akka.
Yeah, it is not easy because it weighs a lot. It weighs 400 tons. And also it is very large in area, like approximately a football pitch, as we have discussed. So it is nearly impossible to build a space station on Earth and then launch it into space in one go. And even imagine, for example, if they have built the space station on the Earth, even if they do so, there is no rocket that is very big enough or that is powerful enough to take it into space. So these are all the problems concerning this. So there will be definitely a solution to this problem. So what did they do to get around this problem? The space station was taken into space piece by piece, and gradually it was built in the orbit. So they did not take the entire ISS into space at one go. They just took piece by piece. Each piece or each part they took into space, and then it was assembled in the space, approximately 400 kilometers above the Earth's surface. So at that height, the ISS was assembled. So this assembly required more than 40 missions. They did not take all the parts in one mission only. It took 40 missions to take each part. So one by one, piece by piece, it was taken into space. So that took 40 missions. And then it was assembled in the space. So I have one more question for you. So do you think this ISS belongs to only one country? Do you think so? Is it the work of one country?
No.
Yeah, it is not the work of one country. Actually, so actually the idea to build the ISS was USA's, United States of America's. It was USA's idea to build the ISS. But 16 countries along with USA like Russia, China, Japan, Canada, and many other European space agency members worked together to build this station, to build this International Space Station in the space. And also, the International Space Station is the world's largest international cooperative program in science and technology. So the ISS is considered as the world's largest international cooperative program in science and technology. Did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Akka.
Yeah, okay, next. So now let's discuss how old is the space station. So as I've already mentioned earlier, the space station was not built at one go. Like it was taken into space piece by piece, and then it was assembled there. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it was taken piece by piece and then it was assembled there. So now let's see how old is the space station. So the first piece, each piece is called a module. Remember this, each piece is called as a module. So the first module of the ISS, its name is Zarya. So it was launched in 1998 by a Russian rocket. So this Zarya belongs to Russia. Okay, this module belongs to Russia. So what is the meaning of Zarya? Zarya means sunrise. The meaning of Zarya is sunrise. Okay?
Sunrise.
Yeah. So after Zarya, after this, more and more pieces were added. More and more pieces were added, and 2 years later, the station was ready for people. So people in the sense, the crew members or the astronauts. So the station was ready for the people. And the first crew arrived on November 2nd, 2000. So in the year 2000, the first group of astronauts or the first group of scientists arrived to the ISS. So people have lived on the space station ever since. So since then till today, people have been living in the International Space Station. And over time, more and more pieces have been added. So after that, still some more pieces were added, and NASA and its partners around the world finished the space station in 2011. So see, from 1998 to 2011, it took 13 years to build the ISS in space. See, all the scientists and everyone, they have worked so hard to build this ISS. So did you all understand this?
Yes, Akka.
Yes, Akka.
Yeah, okay. Next. So I've already I've already said that the area of the International Space Station is approximately that of a football pitch. So we've already discussed that. So how big is the space station? Let's discuss it. How big is the space station? So imagine a house with 5 bedrooms. Imagine a house with 5 bedrooms. How large it looks. In a similar manner, the space station is as big inside as a house with 5 bedrooms. So that is the area of the space station. And it also has 2 bathrooms, a gymnasium, and a big bay window. So you have all of these in the space station. And 6 people are able to live there. So once a group of crew members go to the International Space Station, only 6 people can live there at a time. So it also has science labs from the USA, Russia, Japan, and Europe. Like each country has their own science lab where the researchers or the scientists can perform various experiments inside the space station. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so see, this is how it looks inside the space station. See, it's very large, and see this on the right side, this astronaut or the scientist is doing some work here. So this is how it looks.
Akka,
Now see, now let's look at the bedroom for the astronaut, like how it looks. So if you've ever been in a flight, in an aeroplane or a flight, you might have noticed the restroom there. What is the size of the restroom there in the flights? It's just a small cabin, right? So in the similar
Yes,
way, the bedroom for each astronaut is a small cabin with a sleeping bag clipped into the cabin wall. So why do they clip a sleeping bag? Because to prevent themselves from floating. If they don't clip themselves, what happens? Even while sleeping, they'll be floating in the air. So to
and they
prevent,
will get hurt, ma'am.
yeah, so to prevent that floating, they clip themselves with the sleeping bag to the wall, to the cabin wall. Okay, so that's how they do it. So the cabin also holds their computer. See, in the left side, this man, he's working with his computer. So the cabin also holds his computer, and it also has space for few other personal items. So you can also keep your own personal items there. So that's about the bedroom for the astronauts who live there in the ISS. Okay, the next one. So there are also science labs where the crew can do research. See, on the left side, they're doing research. So there are up to 2,400 research investigations going on during an expedition. So during one single time, like for example, a group of 6 astronauts have gone to the ISS. So in that one trip, like they do not come back immediately to the Earth. They stayed there for approximately 6 to 8 months, and they carry out all the various experiments. So how many experiments do they do in one expedition? 2,400 research experiments they do. See how much hard they are working for the mankind. All of those research and all this they are doing in the space. So sometimes the labs can get very crowded. Is it right? The labs can get crowded because each country has their own experiment to do. So what the crew members have to do, they have to make space for each other. They have to cooperate with each other. They have to adjust with each other, and they have to conduct their experiments simultaneously. Is it clear?
Yes, Akka.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, this is the science lab where the crew do research. So see, this is how they do research. They have various computers and all the equipment. They have to do the research. This is how it looks.
Akka,
Yeah.
when you sent a video, how they will eat also, no, Akka?
Yeah,
Food.
yeah. I've sent.
They will put in a sticky sandwich thing and they will eat, ma'am. Right.
Yeah. So now let's look at the parts of ISS. So let's see what are the different parts of the ISS. Okay, so the ISS is made up of many parts. So each part is called a module. As I've said earlier, each part is called as a module. So can anyone identify the first module, Zarya, here? In this picture, can anyone identify where is Zarya? See, it is here. It is here at the center. This is Zarya. Remember, we've discussed about Zarya, the first module to be launched in space in 1998. So that is Zarya. This is the place where astronauts live. And there are also various modules which allow astronauts to work and to live. And see here, we have a node module. Node module is, these are the nodes which help to connect the parts of the International Space Station to each other. They are like screws. We know the use of screws, right? To connect different parts together. In the same way, these nodes here, they also help to connect different parts of the ISS. So we also have here a multi-purpose laboratory module where they conduct experiments here. And we also have the science and power module here. So these are all the various parts of the ISS. Did you all understand?
Yes, Akka.
Yes, Akka, we can understand.
Yeah. So see next. So the ISS has 16 solar arrays. Arrays means nothing but solar panels. See here, we have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 solar arrays. So these arrays collect energy from the sun. So they collect and grab the energy from the sun and they convert or they turn the sunlight into electricity. So they do the conversion of sunlight to electricity.
That's why our TVs are working
Yeah.
with antenna.
Okay, so next is sometimes the astronauts have to go outside the ISS into space and they have to conduct the experiments and research. So how can they go into space? So we have robo arms which are attached outside the ISS. So these robo arms help to build the space station. We have discussed earlier, right? One by one, piece by piece, it was taken into space and then it was assembled in the space. So how can a human being or a man cannot do all the work, right? So these robo arms help to do the work and minimize the work of astronauts. So these robo arms help to build the space station. So these robo arms can also move the astronauts around the ISS to control the science experiments. So that's the work of these robo arms. The next important one is the airlocks. So you may have seen in many movies like Antariksham and like many movies are there, right? Where we can see the astronauts coming out of the space station through a door like thing. So these doors are called as airlocks. So these are called as airlocks. So the airlocks in the space station are like doors. So they are like doors and astronauts use them to go outside or inside the space station during the spacewalks. Okay, during the spacewalks, the astronauts use this to go inside or outside the space station. These are called as airlocks. These are like doors.
Okay, and they will, when they will come out, they will fix a wire, ma'am.
Yeah, to prevent them
Their
from
bags.
floating, they get attached to that space station. Okay, so next important part is the docking ports. So the docking ports are like doors. They are also like doors only. But these ports allow visiting spacecrafts to connect to the space station. So sometimes from the surface of Earth, some visitors may go or some other astronauts may go into space. So in that case, they use the docking ports to connect to the space station. So the space station allows 6 docking ports to be connected at once. So at one time, we can connect 6 docking ports to the space station. And new crew members and the visitors can enter the station through the docking ports. So astronauts fly to the space station on the Russian spacecraft called Soyuz. We can't go like that normally. The astronauts cannot go like that. They fly using a Russian spacecraft called as Soyuz. They have to use only that one. And all the supplies that the astronauts need, like the food or the water or anything that is required by the astronaut in the space, will be sent from the surface of Earth, right? We have to send from here to the space. So in that case, they use the docking ports to send all the equipment or all the supplies like food and water that is needed by the astronauts there. We use the docking port and simply we can connect that to the space station. See here in this picture, there's a hole right here. There's a hole we can just open and then it can be easily connected to the space station. The next one is a special viewing window, that is cupola. So the view from inside the space station is spectacular. So just imagine sitting inside the space station and viewing Earth. The view looks like really mesmerizing and amazing. So to view that, there is a special viewing window called as cupola. So at a time, only one astronaut can sit near the cupola and take photographs of the Earth. It has the space to occupy only one astronaut at a time. Many people can't sit there. Only one astronaut can sit there at a time and take the photographs of the Earth. Did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we discussed all about various things and various parts and everything about the International Space Station. So why is the space station important? The final question is, why is it important? So the space station is a home in orbit. So people lived in the space every day since the year 2000. Even today, there are some astronauts in the International Space Station. I'll show the photo also. After some time, I'll show the photo. So the space station's labs are where the crew members do the research. So all the crew members and astronauts, they use the labs to do the research. So there are some experiments which cannot be done on the surface of Earth. For example, there are some experiments which can be done only under zero gravity. So in that case, what they do, they go into space and they live in the space station. They live in the International Space Station and they conduct the experiments there in the space. Okay, so that is the importance of space station. So now see, so the current crew members in ISS, see, all of these 12 members, they are at present in ISS. Okay, at present, these are all the 12 members who are staying in ISS to conduct various experiments. So did you all understand this concept about International Space Station? Okay, yeah. So now I have a small video like fun facts about ISS. So let's get to know some of the facts related to International Space Station. So for that, let's watch a small
Yes, sir.
video. Yeah, let's watch that video. So I'm going to share my screen. Just a second.
Hello, Paxi. My name is Anne McLean, and I'm an astronaut.
Is it visible and audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now watch this video.
Here on board the International Space Station, or ISS. It's so nice to have you on board today. And today, I want to tell you about very interesting facts about the space station. So Paxi, when you look around the space station, you can see that we have quite a lot of room. We can pass each other easily and we can work fully stretched out. In fact, the ISS is the largest man-made object ever built. The inside area of the station where we live and work is as big as a jumbo jet and it weighs 420 tons. That's the equivalent of 350 normal cars. The station is enormous. Now, space station needs to be big to accommodate all of the astronauts and all of the experiments that we do. More than 200 people have visited the ISS from 15 different countries, and humans have lived on ISS continuously for 19 years. The first part of space station was launched in 1998, and the first humans arrived in 2000. Even though the space station is so big, the ISS is moving through space at 28,000 kilometers an hour. With this speed, we go around the whole Earth in 1.5 hours. And you know what that means, Paxi? We see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every day. The station is a very impressive construction, but it has not been cheap. In fact, it's the most expensive object ever built by humans and has been estimated around $120 billion. For this money, you could build 6 tunnels between France and England, or 80 of the tallest buildings on Earth. Or you could host the Olympic Games 3 times. Speaking of Olympic Games, the Olympic torch made its way to the space station and went on a spacewalk. Now, the torch is an international icon of cooperation, but of course it had to come out without its flame because that would be very dangerous up here in space station. The torch was sent in 2013, along with new supplies, which brings us to my next fact. Paxi, we need approximately 7 tons of supplies to support 3 astronauts for 6 months here aboard Space Station. That's a lot of stuff, and this is despite the fact that we recycle air and water. Now, like a house on Earth, the space station also needs energy. The ISS is powered by giant solar panels. If you put them all next to each other, they're as big as 8 basketball courts. The solar panels constantly rotate to catch as much sunlight as possible. The energy from the solar cells must be transported to the different parts of the space station. Now that's a long way, Paxi. In fact, for this, the ISS requires 13 kilometers of wires. To get a sense of that length, that would be like climbing the tallest building on Earth 15 times. Now, the space station is very important, but it's also very complex. We have 52 computers monitoring our systems, which monitor over 350,000 sensors, all to make sure that space station is operating normally, our experiments are functioning properly, and that we're living here safely. So Paxi, I hope that you see that this space station is an amazing place in so many ways, but it also requires a lot of logistics and planning to run smoothly. It really is a place of world records. Paxi, I hope to see you back on the space station soon. What are we going to talk about next time? Bye.
Yeah, so did you all watch the video? Some interesting facts about ISS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Akka.
So I think, yeah. So I think some new members have also joined today's session. So for them, I have sent a link in the chat box. Just check it. It is the WhatsApp group link of Astro Club. So if you wish to learn more about astronomy and if you want to continue in the Astro Club, you can just click on the link and join our WhatsApp group. So the sessions are absolutely free. So you can just click on that and join. Okay, fine. So any more doubts before we wind up today's session?
No, Akka.
No, Akka.
Yeah, okay. Or you can all just give me a point that you have learned in today's session. Any point that you have learned. Yeah, so just raise your hand. Yeah, just a second. So you have an option in Zoom where you can raise your hand. So raise your hand. I'll call up your name so you can give the point. So yeah, Sahana, what is your point?
The ISS first module Zarya was launched in 1993. 1998.
1998. Yeah, fine. Okay. Next, Vaishnavi.
Akka, it cost $120 million. Billion dollars.
Yeah, it's a very huge amount. Yeah, next, Anvita.
Akka, my name is Anvaita.
Yeah, Anvita.
Anvaita, Akka.
Anvaita. Yeah, okay. Give your point.
ISS, the astronauts live up to 6 to 7 months, and there are 6 astronauts.
Yeah, okay, fine. Next,
Okay,
Mahesh. Yeah, Mahesh.
Akka, in space station, 6 numbers only can live, can be there, Akka, and in the view mirror, only 1 astronaut can see and take photos of the Earth.
Yeah, okay. Next, Pranav.
The ISS is as wide as a football field and
Yeah.
as spacious as a 5-bedroom house.
Yeah, fine. Next, Sarvani.
The space station is made up of 12 giant solar panels.
Yeah.
Akka? Akka,
Yeah. Yeah.
can I tell another point?
Yeah. 1 minute. I think others are waiting. Yeah, Pradhamini, give your point.
From different countries stay in the space station.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Vibhav.
It took 13 years to build the ISS in space.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Next.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, Vaishnav.
In
Yeah.
which year did they launch
In 1998, I've said, right?
ISS,
The
Akka?
first the first
1998.
the first module was launched in 1998, and the entire construction was completed in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah,
Akka and ISS is made up of so many parts.
yeah,
Pieces.
yeah. It's made up of many parts, right? Yeah. Okay, so do any one of you want to share any point?
Akka నేను చెప్పొచ్చా?
Yeah, you can say.
The first part of the ISS is Zahia.
Zaira. It's Zaira. Yeah, Zaria. Yeah, Zaria. It was launched in 1998.
In 1908.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine. So
Akka,
yeah.
a new astronaut is going to launching to space, ma'am.
But I didn't get your point. Can you repeat?
News I saw that new astronaut is going to space
Yeah, yeah. They'll be going to space
from
and do a lot of.
Guntur. Sirisha name.
Yeah, she already went. The Virgin Galactic Company, along with Richard Branson, they already went and they already experienced the spectacular view and they returned back also. That's completed before a few days back, a few days ago. So that's done. Yeah, okay. So I guess this is the end of today's session. Thank you all for joining.
Akka,
Yeah.
and next Sunday you will keep the Kahoot section.
Yeah, yeah. I'll announce all that in the group. You'll get all the updates there. Okay, yeah. So I guess this is the end of today's session. Thank you for joining. We'll meet next Sunday. You can all leave. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, Akka, bye, Akka.
Okay.